One thing that has me super excited is going to be MyGM mode coming to WWE 2K22. We're going to get the full update reveal this Thursday, but there's one piece in the leaked information on the back talking about MyGM mode I want to talk about today on the show. Let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Assemble. If it's your first time here, hi, how are you? I'm Matt, good to see you, good to have you. Let's talk about MyGM, the GM mode for 2K22. On the back of the actual artwork there, the supposed leaked information that will be confirmed by 2K22 one way or another come this Thursday with their big reveal, there's a line in there when we're talking about MyGM mode. On the back of it, it says the following: introducing MyGM, call the shots as a WWE general manager. Take the reins of Raw, SmackDown, NXT, or NXT UK, and draft your ultimate roster to compete against rival GMs. This is the topic for today's show. I want to talk about what this actually could mean. Number one, it looks like we could get a pretty substantial NXT UK roster, with the likes of like Imperium actually showing up, and Walter, not Gunther, Walter. Come on, WWE. And not only getting a massive NXT UK presence there, regular NXT would be in the game. This kind of highlights that we wouldn't be getting NXT 2.0. But the main thing here, everybody, is that element of online for MyGM. That's the biggest news out of this. This is not confirmed. This is my speculation here, but when I read the tea leaves and I read between the lines here, there is a very good possibility MyGM is online and allows us to play against our friends and other people online in the community from one promotion to the other. Otherwise, why would it say compete against other rival GMs? Why have that tagline in there? Could it be that maybe 2K22 just simply simulates the other brands for you? Maybe it just automatically, if you pick SmackDown as the show that you're going to run, maybe it just automatically simulates a CPU for Raw and NXT and NXT UK. That's very, very possible. But I like to think that they're going to go and lean in more for your online element. And I think that they could do something really, really cool here if this was the case. If you give us a GM mode that's going to be online, we can go and play and do things like check our stats against each other, do our draft against each other, which would be very, very cool. Because could you imagine if you're going to have your own community of 3-4 people, or just 2 of you, being able to trade off and run your draft against each other like we do online? I always think about Xavier Woods and Tyler Breeze doing Battle of the Brands when they're going through and they're trying to create their own roster and do their drafts. And they're doing everything literally pencil and paper, right? They could take what's fun about us watching that, about wanting to do those fantasy drafts, and being able to put it online for people. It would make sense too, because if you had a couple of different save slots within the MyGM mode, I like to see that I could have my own universe, my own MyGM mode that I'm gonna have on myself running solo, and then maybe I'm gonna have another save slot where it's going to be the one that I did with a friend of mine online. And I'm running SmackDown and he's running Raw, and we've already gone through the draft, and then we have all of our matches, and then maybe just that element of being able to compare stats, matches, champions, all of those things. Popularity, who's going up and down in the ranks. That creates better community, I feel. That creates better synergy, and that allows players to really feel like they can compete online and make the community element even bigger. We know that we can have different rounds of the draft based on the hit list trailer that 2K dropped a few months ago. And I wonder how many rounds they would actually let us do within the draft. Maybe we could actually tailor it. And if we are going to be able to play online, maybe we can have the options to kind of customize it the way we want. And think about it too, if we can get everything online for this mode and compete against other people in the community, it allows us to make those trades potentially of having your big champions like Roman Reigns being drafted and traded to Raw in exchange for Brock Lesnar and cash and all of that stuff. If you can create all of that, that creates, again, better engagement, gets fans more excited about it, and it kind of extends the shelf life of a GM mode. At its core, if you're just managing contracts and the matches and the budgets, for some people that doesn't interest them. And I know a lot of people in the community are kind of like, meh, I don't really care that much about my GM or GM mode, and I've never really played it in the past. Others are stoked for it. Some people just want to be able to experience universe mode. I think that if they have MyGM being more focused on online and the community aspect, that can separate it enough from the traditional universe mode that we're so used to seeing. We haven't heard a ton about universe mode either, right? It's been kind of left out there and we don't really know too many details other than maybe you can focus in on individual stars. But if it's kind of the tried and true season mode of WWE, I think that's still great to have on its own, because I still want to be able to go through and manage my rosters, play through my simulated season, match up with what's going on live on WWE programming, or go and create my own AEW or WCW or whatever. But the potential for an online element for MyGM really does get me excited. It can show that 2K is really trying to listen to its fans and trying to deliver more. That's what I've been wondering this whole time too about this mode that had been rumored, now confirmed, and with the leaks, it sounds like it could be even bigger and maybe even better than what we expect. They can't just do, in my opinion, they can't just go back to the old days of SmackDown versus Raw and the GM mode and just copy and paste that into today's game. They're gonna wanna put their own spin on it and take advantage of some of the tech and some of the things they do over on the NBA side of things in those games to be able to try and create a really cohesive mode that fans are gonna wanna be able to play for a long time. So more details, more info is going to drop for 2K22. Let me know what you guys all think about in the comments below about MyGM and if it could be online. Great community discussion I wanna have with all of you. Let me know. See you on the next episode. Peace.